Hi everyone, my topic is aesthetic in minimalist architecture. This is the table of contents list. As you can see, the first question is, what is aesthetics? Aesthetic is a beauty and beauty work. It is the new way to see and perceive the world. Information consists of the senses. Aesthetics is a subject of sensory science. Depending on your perspective, minimalism can relate to many different things. For example, to tiny house trend is somewhat like the simple idea of living. This minimalist lifestyle asks people to reflect on what is really important in their lives and reduce confusing physical or spiritual. Minimalism is also important for visual arts and design. While it may seem like a simple principle, achieving perception in the minimalist styles require great skills. Minimalism asks artists, designers, and architects to use simple forms and basic elements to produce their works in harmonious way. The second question is what is minimalist architecture? Minimalist architecture has its roots not only Japanese culture but also in the Prestige and Bauhaus movements of the 1920s. The stage interested in using industrial materials and reducing forms, also key features and Bauhaus minimalist architecture. This is minimalism in Bauhaus. This is minimalism in Prestige. Minimalist architects often combine nature and interiors to strike a balance between man-made architecture and the environment. Harmony is achieved by using geometric forms, bare walls, and simple materials. Minimalism isn't just about expressing the white walls. To use clean lines and eliminate clutter until you have the essence of the products or interior is to remove the excess. In the 1910s, Kazimir Malevich gave the first signal of the minimalism with his painting Black Square is on a white background. Malevich described the square as a geometric form not found in nature, seeking perfection by reducing the forms to their simple geometries, the use of the color to basic colors, and even the black and white by naturalizing it was like a divine act. This pure geometric approach created a ground that shifted from positive thinking to metaphysics. Malevich did not paint after his white-on-white works almost reached nirvana. This line from which Malevich started was conceptualized in the 1960s by a group of artists and thinkers, mostly sculptors in the United States, such as Tony Smith, Donald Judd, Carl Andre, and painters such as Ellsworth Kelly and Frank Stella defined minimalist art with their works and expressionists, minimizing the color and form to basic elements, even using only the color of the material used, and proofing the works from the expressionists rooted on the composition become the basic attitude of the minimalists. They use materials such as wood, iron, steels, and aluminum that don't require any intervention in their own colors. Most artists have described their works as enemies to rid them of an identity. It can be said that minimalist art was determined mostly by the art of sculpture. The thought of the representative of this approach, which doesn't include issues, even regard it as immoral and convey nothing other than what is it, can be summed up as follows. What is it? There was no room for the overload or added narratives. The equivalent of minimalism in architecture design can be defined as reaching the simplest, most economical, most functional result with the least material. Although the final project seems simple, it was the hardest to get the most with the least. The understanding of less is more, which emerged in the Bauhaus school from the vestige to international style, made another definition of minimalism. Mies van der Rohe minimized the architectural form, which he reduced to rectangular prism with steel and glass in the material. The line that started with the Barcelona World Fair German Pavilion in 1929 and extended to their monumental steel glass skyscrapers. Rohe adopted the multi-purpose attitude that lifted the local identities of the building, internationalized them, even generalized their functional constructions. This approach was in line with the concept of minimalist art. Philip Johnson's glass house, which he built connected, was the symbolic structure of this line. This is Philip Johnson is glass house examples. This is the Tadao Ando's project in Azuma House. Minimalist thinking and aesthetic concept will always maintain their indissoluble place in design as they gain a utilitarian content by integrating with the function in architecture and industrial design. Today, Tadao Ando is the most important architect that produce products in minimalist direction. Ando achieved the minimalization that Mies van der Rohe achieved with glass, steel, and prism with the exposed concrete, glass, and light mass. The structure of Tadao Ando show regional characteristic, but the Japanese design has traditionally been close to minimalism. The simplicity in traditional hall decoration and beauty and the competence derived from the real values have affected the whole world. In addition to the architectural design attitude, it also carried the logic of not hanging pictures on the walls of the houses, storing the picture in rows, opening and weaving it when necessary, and not allowing the spatial illusion in the home space. The plain graphic of the Japanese flag like a symbol of the national design approaches. Instead of filling design and the arrangements with the accept symbolist elements and running out reality and the easy to escape, it has always been a wide but difficult way to reach beauty by getting out of the original simple concepts, core values, and it will always continue as a classic new identity. Features is the most important features of minimalism are using geometric features and figures, and this is the most important Frank Stella and less is more. Ludwig Mies van der Rohe is Le Corbusier also. This is the keyword arts, less design, functional, simple, and aesthetics. That's all. Thank you listening and watching for me.